Hey guys, what's up? It's Sarah, and I just wanted to say that I moved out of my house. So, yay! I am actually living on my own with my boyfriend, and yes, I have a chronic illness. Yes, it's extremely difficult, but my parents provided me with a car, and I'm gonna rent the upstairs place of this place right now where I'm at my boyfriend's. So it's actually pretty great right now. The reason I moved out was possible mold related illness, and basically I was getting short of breath, extremely weak, major gut issues, musty smells in the home, like a whole bunch of different neurological symptoms. Over the winter I was having pseudo seizures, chemical sensitivity, all that stuff. So as soon as I moved into my boyfriend's, my temp went up, and I actually got my period for the first time in a year and a half. So that was all amazing stuff that happened, getting out of the home. So is it mold? I don't know. What am I going to do about it? I don't know either. I didn't take anything with me except basically my meds and my HBOT. So when I left the home, I didn't really know what to expect. I did bring my clothes, but I could smell musty stuff on them, and I actually, as soon as I opened the box that my clothes are in, my eyes started burning and my skin started burning. If I hold papers from home, my skin starts burning. If you guys want to learn more about mold related illnesses, if you think that's part of your chronic illness or whatever, I think the site is Mold Toxicity or something, or Surviving Mold, that's what it's called, and it's the Shoemaker Protocol. So is what people typically go by, or to try and find a physician or whatever that does mold. So that's kind of a little bit about what's been going on with me. My brain function is a lot better since moving out. I feel a lot better mentally. I can think, I can read, I can write. So this is all really exciting and good stuff since moving out. I had to move into a smaller place and be a little bit more independent, but I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing. So I don't know where this whole mold thing is gonna go. I'm still in treatment for Bartonella. I know the symptoms overlap between Bartonella and mold, so who knows what is what really. So I will keep you updated in the future as to if I decide to pursue like a mold practitioner and do a consult with my Lyme doctor regarding the mold. I did have a mycotoxin test and it came back negative. So I know that test, and that's a urine test, a mycotoxin urine test by Great Plains Labs. And I know that that mycotoxin test, if it shows mold, then it's a clear indicator that there's either mold in your environment or moldy food that you ate. If it's a negative, you can't necessarily rule it out if you're having trouble detoxing the mold. So technically mold is a toxin per se, and 25% of the population has this gene where if they have another traumatizing event on top of a mold situation, like an inflammatory event like Lyme disease, then they cannot absolutely process this mold in their environment. And a lot of houses have mold in that. I mean, water damaged buildings, anything, any kind of water damage at all is risk for these people. Have I done testing for this? No. Do I know this is my issue? No, I don't know. But I know something in my gut is toxic. Whenever my guts start moving and stuff like that, the toxins just get stirred up. And this makes complete sense because basically this whole mold related illness, what happens is in this small percentage of the, well, rather large percentage of the population, 25% of the population, if they have a very stressful event, inflammatory event, Lyme disease happen to them, then they cannot process the mold. The mold actually acts like a toxin in your body. So the mold basically will keep circulating and it can't even get out of your body. It just keeps circulating, creates all this inflammation and neurological issues and gut issues and brain issues. And, it's honestly, if this is what I have, it's miserable. And I know I have Bartonella. I know I've been suffering with Bartonella. I don't know whether it's active or not. My symptoms have gone down since I've moved. So that's why I was thinking it might be a mold issue, possibly because my symptoms have gone down significantly since I moved, and they're multi-systemic. Mold symptoms are multi-systemic. So you're going to have brain stuff, you're going to have gut stuff, you're going to have neurological stuff, you're going to have, widespread inflammation, hives. Not to say that stuff can't be anything else, like, allergies or other sources of inflammation, viruses, parasites, stuff like that. But mold is an option for all this stuff. So I just rambled. I don't even know if that made sense, but my cognition's back, so I'm really happy about that, and I can actually think and feel, and I don't have to sit in a little ball and curl up for 2 or 3 months at a time, wishing that none of this would be happening, and that I can't even live like that anymore. Winter was really rough, and that's another reason why I think there might be a mold issue, because I couldn't even get out of the house all winter, and that's when I was having my seizure-like episodes. So yeah, and then once I started to be able to get out, the seizures kind of stopped. I was only able to tolerate the sunlight for like 2 minutes, and now that I moved, I can tolerate the sunlight for at least a couple hours. I was having all kinds of food intolerances, new food intolerances, sulfur intolerances. All that stuff is so much improved, and I'm very thankful for being able to move out of my house right now to help with the situation that was happening in my home. When I lived in a really big home, there has been water damage. My mom keeps a lot of items around the house. There's a ton of storage areas. It's kind of an older house. So there could have been mold issue, and we would have known. I mean, I smelled mold. My doctor said if I smell mold in the house, then there probably is mold. Now, the mycotoxin urine test, how that came back negative, I'm not quite sure what was going on there. If I'm not able to detox and the toxin just keeps circulating, that is an option. It's also an option that I don't have mold. I am not sure at this point. All I know is when I moved, my temp went up, I got my period, my gut started moving more, I became less bloated, I can think, I can speak, my neurological symptoms are down significantly. Am I completely better? No. Do I still have flare-ups? Do I still have inflammation? Yes. But I am so much better. I don't have days where I just completely crash and can't get out of bed and my whole body is on fire. Like I said, when I open up the clothes from my home, my eyes start burning, my throat starts burning. When I hold papers, my skin burns from home. So yeah, that's all I know. Is it all mental? Like, it could be. I'm not going to rule that out. But with that being said, mold is a strong possibility because of my reaction to leaving the environment. I no longer get short of breath. I was having these gaps of breathing where I could feel like I could hardly breathe and my breathing would actually stop. If this is a mold-related illness, then it is toxic. If this portion of population, if they have Lyme disease and they're susceptible to mold-related illnesses, it's a toxin that's circulating in your body, and it's essentially the mold is poisoning you. So if you think you might have a mold-related illness, check out Surviving Mold. I think it's survivingmold.com. If not, just type in Surviving Mold Shoemaker, and everything will pop up that you can look at and observe. I'm looking into a couple physicians right now regarding mold. If finances allow, it's really expensive seeing my Lyme doctor, so I'm gonna have to see if I can get into a mold specialist or not. But that is something that I want to do in the future to see if this was definitely the issue or not. There's inflammatory markers you can measure, there's the genetic testing, there's other things you can do. I can retest the urine by use of glutathione or a sauna session before. So I'm gonna just stop rambling because that was a lot of rambling. I don't even know if that made sense, guys. but I just wanted to raise a little bit of awareness about mold related issues. And if you think mold is a problem, please, please, please leave your home. If you need to bring something, bring your meds. That's what I did. And I bought kind of like all new clothes. Yeah, I didn't bring much with me because I knew if it was a mold exposure. I bought a couple of like hard items too. Like you're not supposed to bring any soft items with you. So like fabric, clothing. I brought my H-Bot. I can show you guys real quick. That's my H-Bot hyperbaric chamber. Yeah, I just brought a couple things with me basically, and feeling much better. I put everything else, I brought a couple other things, but I put it all in boxes. I boxed it all up, and I had to copy a couple papers the other day, which is a little rough for me with the burning, but I did that. And yeah, everything else has been going the same. Still doing the Bunner protocol. Ginger is helping me move my guts. Having coconut every day, that helps with gut health too. And yeah, overall the mood's been good. I just wanted to kind of raise awareness to this mold related issue that has recently been brought up. Yeah, guys, check out Shoemaker Protocol and see if you think mold could be something that could be your problem, because sick people stay at home, and if the home is a toxic environment, then they get sicker. So this is a relatively new issue and new research. Within the last 15 years, I think Shoemaker started doing these protocols. So this is a relatively new thing. So it's not something that's been around for a while, so a lot of doctors don't know about it. So my doctor has no clue about the mold related illness. He knew enough to do the mycotoxin test, that's for sure, but I'm going to ask him about a consult to see if that's something that he'd be willing to work with me on, and also something my parents will pay for, because you know, all this is so expensive. Probably spend over $24,000-$25,000 a year on all of this treatment stuff. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I'm just going to keep on repeating the same thing over and over again if I keep talking, but my brain function is back, so I am thrilled about that, and you can expect to hear from me again with further Lyme topics and stuff like that. And I gotta say this, that I am not a physician, I am not a doctor, I'm not trying to treat, diagnose, or anything like that. I just want to raise awareness to these issues that, you know, people peg like, oh, I'm sick because of this reason. Well, you could be, but there could also be other things going on. So I'm just trying to raise awareness of all these related issues, parasites, mold, virus, bacteria, because, you know, it's always good to take a second look at what you're doing to see if it's truly the issue, if there's something else going on. Okay guys, take care. I will talk to you later.